Hello, this is Bob74H back for another video today. Today I will be discussing Tobirama versus Hanzo, and I will be primarily discussing their abilities, powers, and their durability as to find out who would win. And I'm going to first off start covering Tobirama. So we get an idea of how powerful he is via him losing to the Kinkaku Force. And if we were to highball it and say he fought Kinkaku, that would mean he skills below Dolly. But if we were to go based off what it says in the manga and data book, it says that Tobirama fought the 20 Jonin, or 20 elite ninja, of the Kinkaku Force. He didn't actually fight Kinkaku and Ginkaku. And we know that they didn't use their sage weapons, as he wouldn't have been able to been revived by the Edo Tensei if that was true. And we know they didn't use the V2 forms, or the Jin forms, because if they did, then one of them would have had to died, which didn't happen. And we know they would have had to died because Kakazu, rather, he says that Kinkaku only gets like this when Ginkaku kicks the bucket, implying that they only get like that when one of the brothers die, meaning that he fought them without sage weapons, and he fought them without using their Jin forms, meaning he fought heavily weakened versions of them, and still lost. Then again, he didn't even fight them. He fought their squad, the Kinkaku Force. It says in the data book that he died a noble death fighting against the 20 Jonin as a means to be a decoy so Sawatobi and the squad that he's a part of would get away. So we have to put him on like Jonin level based off that information. And people may not like that factoid because it contradicts how they view the character, but that's just a matter of fact. As for Hanzo, we get an idea of how powerful he is via him losing to Mifune. And Mifune, as we know, is able to, I guess, somewhat tags heavy Sasuke, but then again, we don't really get an idea if they're comparable or not, because Sasuke casually blocks his attacks. And I know there's a lot of people who like to say Hanzo is this god-tier threat because he took down the Sannin, but what that ignores is that the Sannin of that time were not as powerful as they are now, and we know this for two reasons. For the first reason, we see in a flashback that some random Aragakure shinobi, or hidden stone shinobi, were able to pressure them into a cave. Like, these people were spitting stones at them. Like, they were spitting stones at them, and they were getting really pressured by it. And Orochimaru was so pressured by this that he said that he would have had to kill Jiraiya so him and Tsunade could escape, but Tsunade prevented him from killing Jiraiya, so that event didn't occur as he would have wanted. So back on topic though, we get an idea that he defeated a weakened group of Sannin. Plus this was before Orochimaru did his body modifications, before Tsunade achieved 100 healings, and before Jiraiya had complete mastery of Sage Mode. So these are heavily weakened versions of the characters. So to say that they are comparable to the ones that we see in the main series is completely fallacious. And so that argument is immediately invalid. So as for my next point, is we're going to discuss about abilities. FTG, or Flying Raijin, is a teleport ability. But Hanzo has the body flicker too, so I don't see how that would be a huge factor here when they can both pretty much teleport. So the huge important thing here to note is that Tobirama has something that Hanzo does not, and that's Edo Tensei. And we don't know what Edos he has access to, but if we were to presume, he has Edos comparable to like Rando Jonin, as the Edos of his era wouldn't have been that powerful. We know this for two reasons. A, all the Edos revived in the modern day are past shinobi who have legendary power and have set themselves up as legendary figures, like the third Raikage and the first Hokage as examples. These people did not exist back in that day. So the people he's reviving are probably maybe Jonin level at best. So there's that, and also if we ought to say that Hanzo can't deal with random Jonin, which would be stupid, then we would also have to say Tobirama can't deal with random Jonin, which is true with Tobirama though. The thing is, though, I would say Hanzo would win in this circumstance because he has been able to deal with Jonin and win. While Tobirama has not been able to deal with random Jonin and has consistently died to them. In fact, he's never even won a fight, save for being against Izuna, which then again, he was getting bodied prior to using FTG. Meaning that he only won due to FGG. And without it, he would have lost. And we know that all the fights Tobirama has been in, he has lost. He lost against Sarutobi when he was revived as an Edo. He lost against the Kinkaku Force. He lost against Jubito. And he lost against Madara. So to say that he even compares to any of these people is completely fallacious, as Jubito bodied him. He just ripped him in half. And when he tried to use the tandem bombs, it did no damage. Plus, I don't think Tobirama has a counter to his poison, nor do I think he can evade it.